Hey guys, what's going on? We're back. Another video. Before I get going on the video, I'm pretty excited, I opened up Discord, Lappers hockey card community. So if you want to check out the Discord, there's going to be a link in the notes. If you don't know what Discord is, it's basically a place where you can, share your hockey cards. We talk hockey, chat. It's really like a forum, so you post, communicate, meet people, chat about cards, and a really good place to, just talk to other people, communicate, network, buy, sell cards. You can do whatever. A lot of it is just hockey card chat though, and there's a lot of information to be gathered there. But today I'm going to be talking about ComC. We're into the playoffs and moving through. Tampa Bay just throttled the Islanders tonight, 8-0. So they're up 3-2 in that series. Other series, Montreal, Vegas at 2-2. Big game tomorrow for both teams in Vegas. Anyways, I didn't make many plays in the playoffs. I sort of just have the cards that I had here, and I've sold some of them and it's been fine, but I'm sort of glad I didn't go in too hard. I did miss out on one play, but I just wasn't in a position to make it, so I won't bore you with the details. But one of the things that I am doing is buying a lot on ComC. I've talked about it in other videos, and if you know what ComC is, hopefully there's something in here for you, and a couple things. I'm going to give a couple tips, and hopefully you learn something. But for those that don't know what ComC is and hear about it, and just don't know, I'm gonna show you how ComC works, how I use it, and hopefully you get something out of it. So let's get to ComC. All right, guys. So here we are. First thing you want to do is get over to ComC.com. Now, a lot of people have lots of different things to say about ComC. Some people love it, some people don't. I am the former. I love it. I think it's a great place. I can find some inexpensive cards. One of the main things that I use ComC for is to purchase cards and flip them on eBay. So I'll buy the cards here, I'll have them sent home, and then I'll list them on eBay. I think it's really great for that. There's a lot of opportunity and arbitrage opportunities in the cards here. You have to sort of figure out what works for you, but that's a big way that I use it. The other way that I'm using it this year is to flip some young guns for the upcoming season. So that's a lot of what I'm doing right now, is watching specific players. This video isn't really about which players I'm watching. It's more just showing you how ComC works if you don't know. So the first thing that you want to do is come to ComC.com, and you're going to have to register for an account. So go ahead, click the register. You can go through that process, and we'll assume that you have an account open. Now, what are you opening an account to? Well, ComC is a place to essentially buy and sell cards. You look right here, they got over 25 million cards under one roof, all individually tagged, individually logged, whatever you want to call it. If there's 50 of a certain young gun, they have pictures for the most part of each individual one, so they're all tagged individually. But anyways, high resolution scans. You're essentially buying cards. It's also a great place to flip cards, and we'll get into that. But let's go ahead and sign in. So now you've got an account on ComC. This is sort of your hub. To purchase store credit, it's very simple. You'll just click through here. I'll have to block off my address. No big deal, but you click a dollar amount that you want to put on. We'll start, I would recommend starting with something small. You can proceed to the checkout, which is going to take you over to PayPal. I won't continue with that, but that'll take you to PayPal. You deposit it. It's real time. It's very fast. You can do it from credit card. Same way you do all your other payments through PayPal. There's no service fee to come on here. I do believe if you're in the United States, they charge tax on the purchase, on the credit purchase. But in Canada, we just get $25 US with no tax implications. So that's the dashboard. That's how you purchase money, or purchase credits rather. Now we have some credits on here. So what do we want to do now? Next thing we probably want to do is look at purchasing a card, or go and look through cards. So I'm going to go to a card that I've been buying and loading up on for next season, and I've purchased a few of them, and I'll be purchasing them all summer. So it's Ville Heinola Young Guns. This isn't about why I'm buying Heinola. I'm not going to get too much into that, but I've been buying him. And this is what your main page is going to look like for purchasing. So on the left hand side here, we can see all the sellers. they can list it at whatever price they choose, or you can choose to not have the cards listed, but these are the ones that are for sale. So we can see the most inexpensive one is right here at $2.70. So let's say that we want to go ahead and make this purchase. There's a couple things we can do. First thing we can do is add it to the cart and make a purchase. I don't do it that way. You can do it that way. It's a little bit more expensive, because you have to pay for the shipping on typically a low volume of cards. What I do is purchase a large volume of cards and I have them shipped in bulk, and I find out from a cost per card shipping perspective, it works out a lot better. So, you know, I always have money in my account and I can make the purchases, and I'll ship, you know, typically no less than about 150 cards. Up to I have a couple shipments coming, one for I think 400 cards, but regardless, I think you're better off shipping in bulk just because it works out more inexpensive on a cost per card basis. So if we want to purchase this card, we can click the buy now. Now we have a couple of options. So we can purchase it and just put it in our inventory. That's one thing that we can do. The other thing, and the great thing for flipping cards, is we can purchase and relist for sale. So if I want to purchase and relist this for $3.25, I can put that in here. I can click the purchase and relist, and that is going to relist it. And my card will be listed at $3.25 and on the open market in 2 clicks of the mouse. So that's how you would purchase a card. One of the other great things on this page, and that I'll point out, is on the left-hand side here, you can see the base has a check mark next to it, and the raw has a check mark next to it. So those are the same, but the silver foil also has a check mark next to it. So we can see here that I own 2 of these cards. So we can have a look. These are my 2 items. Neither of them are listed. Neither of them are for sale. I got them for $28.74 back in April, and then I got this one for $29.25. This one is $25.25. So let's just go and have a look at that, actually. Here's a tip. Okay, pro tip right here. I want to see if he's taking offers, so I'm going to put in 1 cent. And I can see that this individual is taking offers as low as $21.50. I'm not going to make an offer on that right now. I think this card's going to keep coming down through the summer, so I think I can get it for probably less than that, although I actually wouldn't mind paying that price. I'll think about that, but I don't need to do that for this video. But that's the tip, guys. Put in 1 cent and we can have a look at what their lowest offer they'll accept is. And I shouldn't say, I should clarify, this doesn't mean that they're automatically going to accept $21.50. They will receive that offer, and just like on eBay, they can choose to accept the offer, decline the offer, or counter the offer, and they can come back at you, you know, at some other price. So we'll take a look at this card below. This is just Shane Corson. So this is a card for the PC I was looking at. So this individual, you can see $8.15. So there's no wiggle room. He's selling it for $8.15, and you can either buy it or not. Down here, we got a Milan Hajduk, another PC card, a Cup Signatures. So this individual is accepting offers as low as $20.25. Makes a lot of sense. I'll likely put an offer in for that if I haven't already. But that's just the pro tip of how to put in offers. Don't just go and offer $6. I mean, you can go and offer $6. But I use the 1 cent rule. 1 cent, we see what the lowest is, and it's like, is $21.50 something that, or a price that I want to pay for this card? Now we'll go back to the base card and let's take a look if this individual is accepting offers. So he is down to $1.48. So I'm gonna take a look and put this one in there. So what I did here is I'm going to make an offer on these 2 cards. So I clicked make an offer, and that's putting both of his cards in there. He only has these 2. I see this guy's name around here a lot. He likely has more, but it shows him as only having 2 at that price. Anyways, so what I'll do now is put in the offer. So he's looking at $2.95. So I'm going to go ahead and make an offer at $3 flat. So now I'm going to click send. Now that money is going to be pulled out of my account, and it will be held until he chooses to accept it or decline it or counter it. But that money is tied up. It's no longer within my balance. Okay, so you can't go in and make offers on 100 cards with money that you don't have. You have to have that money available, and it's essentially put to an escrow before, you know, the transaction happens. So be aware of that. But that's purchasing cards on ComC. So the next thing that we can do is we're going to have a look at selling cards. So what you're going to do is you're going to go and you just hover over your name, and then we can go to inventory manager. And these are all cards that I have in my inventory. The way that I typically order them is by the highest asking price. And then I can scroll through here and change the prices. So I can see here that I got an Alexander Ovechkin, I got a rookie card, his Upper Deck Victory base rookie. I bought it for $20, and currently they're trading from between $38 to $60. And you know, you can click on that number there. We can have a look at those. That's this little number right here. If you click on this here, this is going to bring you to all the cards from that set. Okay, so that's a really good way if you want to see who else was in here. So here we have, you know, Sid is in there. This is just his regular base raw. He's at $40. Anyways, you can have a look at all the cards from that set. What I want to do is have a look at what the other OVs are listed at. So we got a bunch at $38, $39, $40. Doesn't matter much to me. I'm not even sure if I want to sell this card. Don't really care too much. So I'm likely just going to leave it at the price that it's at, which is the $48.99. But you can go ahead and make adjustments on these. So you can see here, these are all cards that I have for sale. And it's very simple to go through. That's how you change the prices. That's how you sell. It's very simple. As soon as you make a sale, that money goes directly into your account, into your available credit. And here's some of the sales that I made here. So let's take a look at some of the sales that I've made. So we'll take a look at the first one. This was a Connor Brown that I bought back in, where's the acquisition date? April the 12th. So I purchased this card for $1.15. Connor Brown was on a bit of a heater, had a really good finish to the year actually. And at the end of the season, for some reason, I sold this on June the 6th. His card kept going up. I think it's flattened out now. Again, we can click here and have a look. So it's at $293, so it's coming down a bit. I have this one here. I'm going to click manage the price. I want to be the lowest one on this, so I'm going to put this to $292. So we'll go back in there. And there we go. So I am the lowest Connor Brown. I'd like to get rid of that card. I'll take my $3 I paid. I paid $1.25 for it, so I just like to liquidate that card. But getting back to where we were, I apologize, I'm jumping around. So we'll go to view all sales. I purchased this for $1.15. I sold it for $3.03. So if we take a look here, the sale price was $3.19. The transaction fee that goes to ComC for the transaction is 15.95 cents, meaning I get $3.03 deposited into my account on this transaction. And again, that's real time, goes right into my account. You don't have to mess with some of the stuff that you do on eBay with return. There is no returns on this. You click, you buy the card, you buy the card. So that's how you sell on ComC. It's very easy. The flipping as well. I showed you how to flip. You simply go into the card, and you know you can purchase it. You can purchase it and just enter your listing, your flipping price in there, and it's done in 2 mouse clicks. So this is what I plan on doing for the upcoming hockey season. We'll go back to the dashboard. Now, let's assume that you've made some purchases and you want to have those shipped to you. Remember, these cards are all yours. They don't move until you request to ship them. So we're going to go ahead here and request a shipment. I've changed my address, so this is just a downtown address that I found, but it's going to give proper pricing. So I only have a few cards in here for shipment right now. I got 14 of them, and we're going to go to continue to shipping, and we're going to take a look at some of the shipping prices. So a lot of people have a hard time with this. The shipping isn't cheap, but I would argue it's also not expensive. When I go ahead and purchase anywhere between, like I said, 150 to 400 cards, I can typically get these cards for below $1 per card shipped. Now, if you have 400 cards there and it's $400, that's obviously a lot of money. But when you're making purchases on eBay, one card at a time, like how many times can you get $2 or $3 shipping? Like we pay that all day. I think people would really be astounded if they understood how much money they were paying for shipping on a per card basis. I would argue that it's cheaper on ComC, but you know, either you understand that or you get it or you don't. If you just think that it's expensive, then you just think that it's expensive. Like, that's okay. Ultimately, I'm okay with the shipping price because I understand the volume. When I only have 14 cards in here and you see these shipping prices, you know, these certainly aren't cheap. But again, as you add more cards, it gets more inexpensive from a shipping basis. So let's take a look at our options here. So we have 14 cards. We can ship them home. We will get them on October the 19th. It will cost us $14.57. So that's 4 months out, okay? If we want to wait 4 months for the cards, $14. That's untracked. Now, if we want to have them tracked, it's going to cost us $29.27. Also notice that these are delivered duties paid, meaning I believe in Canada, they pay the PST. So you won't have to pay that when it crosses the border. You're paying that in advance. I'm hoping I have some orders coming and I'm hoping I don't have to pay PST on them. But if we look down here at the express option, you know, $75, but delivered duties unpaid. So I've done this a few times and I've been dinged with massive PST on the shipments, and you know, it's killed my margin, but I've still done well. I just sort of learned that I have to time my parcels coming back a little bit slower. So the typical service that I will use is the express post. So this would cost me $39 and I would get it in exactly or roughly 1 month. Now, are they meeting their shipping times? No. Sometimes they are, sometimes they aren't. Let's take a look at my shipments. So if we go here on the left hand side, again, this is sort of these are the menus or your main hub, and I don't use a lot of these here. You used to be able to do grading submissions. You know, I don't request refunds. We will get to the watch list because I do have a tip in there. But so let's go into shipment history, and this is where you can find all of your shipping data. So we'll have a look at the shipment that I have on the way right now, and this is coming to my property, so I'll blur out my address, but I paid $121 Canadian or USD for these cards. And so that is, how many cards did I have shipped in this? I had about 140 plus cards shipped in this. So 140 at 120 USD means that I'm paying under $1 US per card. So that sort of shows, you know, it seems expensive paying $121. Like, that's a lot of money. I get it, but you have to sort of factor this in when you're purchasing these cards that, you know, you plan on selling. I have that all factored in, and I'm perfectly fine paying this. It's under $1 a card, and I'll factor it in when I list my cards on eBay and sell those. So this was requested 1 month ago, a month and a half ago, on May the 13th. Its estimated ship date is, you know, this is where it gets confusing. It says it's in transit. It's said this since Friday. Yet it says it's not shipped yet because they will put a tracking number in there. The date requested was May the 13th, and the estimated ship date was the 18th. Well, it's now June the 22nd, and there is no actual ship date yet. So we'll see what happens with this when I get it. This is one of the troubles that they have. I don't really understand it. I deal with it, and I just basically expect the shipments to take longer than they say. And I think that that's the best way to do it. You got to be positive about these things. If you're going to use this and try and do some flipping and make some money and stock your eBay store or however you use it, you just have to understand those shipping times. I understand being upset, but like, I don't know, don't get too upset about it. Like, what can you do? If you don't want to use the service, then don't use the service. It's critical for me. I do very well off of flipping cards from here on eBay, so I'm gonna make it work. You know, it's all about adapting. Complaining isn't gonna get you anywhere, whether it's PSA, whether it's ComC. You just got to figure it out. I'm gonna figure it out. I'll let other people complain about it. And so I'll show you one last thing. And this is sort of my tips. One of the things that you can do, let's say that we're looking at, we'll take Timothy Stützle Young Guns. Now let's say that we're eyeing up Timothy Stützle for, here, we'll look at his silver foil. Now let's say that I want to keep my eye on this card. What I'm going to do is I can click right here, click on the add to watch list. So I'm going to click that. And now you notice it changes to view watch list. So now I can view it in my watch list. One of the things that I'll do here is I will put the price in and I'll save it in my notes so that I have sort of a running history. Now this isn't scientific. You only get the data that you put in, but you can see a history of where cards have been. Again, click on the number here, so it's going to take me to this specific card, and we can see that, you know, Drake Batherson here is up to 1650. I may want to log that in there since it has gone up a little bit. Capo Caco here, you know, let's take a look at his price. Okay, so he's down to 2374. So I'm just going to go ahead in here and put 2374. And this is sort of a way for me to get a general idea of what's going on with prices. Nico Hischier, another player that I'm watching a bit, 1981. So I'm not even going to bother putting that in there since the price hasn't changed a heck of a lot. Josh Norris, 1194. I'm not going to go ahead and change that because it's pretty similar. It's gone up a little bit, but it's just floating in that range. Actually, maybe I will put that. Might be important to note. But keeping track of these players is a great way to just know where the prices come from. But that's my ComC tip. I hope you get something out of this video. You know, I hope you can make ComC work for you. It's a great platform. There's so many cards on here. There's great cards for the PC. There's great cards that you can flip on ComC, and there's great cards that you can flip on eBay, get them shipped home and flip them. I make it work. I've used it really well without ComC. You know, I just wouldn't be able to do what I do. But hopefully you got something out of that. Check me out on my Instagram, LapperFlips, LAPP3R30__flips. Come check out the Discord. I got a link down there. So check it out. Come have fun. Out.